You don't need tens of thousands of followers. You don't need any complicated strategies, and you definitely don't need ad spend. Here's how I made my very first $1,000 online, and how many of my clients have done the same or even way more than that very quickly. Now, let me give you a little bit of background. Actually, when I started out, I was 16 years old. Yeah, so I was still living with my parents. I never really had a job at that point. Later on, I got a job, or actually, I had one job for 2 weeks, which I quit. And I dropped out of school, funny enough. So you can imagine what reaction my parents had to that. To get to the point though, what I did to then actually turn my life around is I started my very own first faceless Instagram account, right? If you already know me, you know that's what I've been doing for the past 6 years. I've done close to $2 million online with it, so I know what I'm talking about here. So basically what I did back then is I started investing in myself at some point. First of all, for 4 months, I tried to watch YouTube videos, read through blogs, really learn how to do this, right? How to build a faceless Instagram account, because I realized that all these people who make a ton of money online have an audience that they sell to, right? Like nobody that makes a boatload of money online does not have a following. Even e-commerce businesses need a following nowadays. If they don't have a social media presence for their product, they go down the hill because their profitability with ads is just non-existent. That's the first key, right? You need to have a following. Now, you don't need tens of thousands of followers, and you don't even need thousands of followers. We will get to that in a second. Once I realized that, as I said, I started reading blogs and watching YouTube videos, trying to figure out how to grow my very own first faceless Instagram account, because faceless accounts, I found out, grow way faster than a personal brand, as a personal brand needs a personal connection to the audience to actually get a follow. Whereas a faceless account just provides some form of value, right? And can use celebrities in it, can use this, that, which will actually help them get a lot of reach, right? And through that reach and through going viral, then you grow a bunch of followers. Now, once I found that out, I wasted 4 months trying to figure it out all myself by watching videos like this, which can work, right? But it's going to take you way longer, because you're going to put together all the pieces of the puzzle, and nobody will ever give you all the info step by step for free. It's just non-existent, because if they would do that, everyone would do what they are doing to make money, right? So then I actually invested in my very first course, actually an ebook to be exact. That's why my low ticket product now is also an ebook. And I started learning about how to grow followers organically. So I put in some work, I made some content, I posted it, and eventually with the strategies that I learned inside there, I grew my audience to 10,000 followers. Now, before you click away, I told you earlier, you don't need tens of thousands of followers. In my case, I made the mistake to wait too long to monetize. You can do all of this with way less followers, and we will get to that. Many of my clients had less than 1,000 followers and made thousands and thousands of dollars. Now, once I had those 10,000 followers, I struggled again. I had no clue how to monetize myself, my page, right? And by the way, that ebook was not the only product I bought to actually get to the 10,000 followers. But then I saw a quote from Warren Buffett that was actually what got me also to buy the ebook, which said the highest paying investment is always in yourself, right? And that quote made me shift from watching blogs, watching YouTube videos and reading blogs to actually invest in myself. Now that I came up with this problem again of how do I monetize, I realized, hey, I just gotta invest in myself again. Luckily, I had still a bit of money left over from the 2 weeks that I worked in a job. And I bought a coaching, I believe it was. It's quite a long time ago. I don't wanna, a coaching call, I believe it was, with a guy who was already making successfully money with his faceless account and with his personal brand. Now, once I bought that, he gave me the exact blueprint to start monetizing. And believe it or not, but within 48 hours, I had made my first $1,000. That's all it took. Twice investing in myself, right? Maybe it was 3 times as I bought, I think, a couple more ebooks to get to the 10K followers, and also some courses. But that's really all it took. I needed just a straight up, clear blueprint and somebody taking me by the hand. That was the first step, right? Now, to get to why this works even with less than 10,000 followers is very simple. And how did I actually monetize? Why it works with less than 10,000 followers is easily understandable, because you only need 2, 3, 4 people paying you a couple $100 for something valuable, and you made $1,000, right? That's why people in sales can make tens of thousands of dollars, because it does not require that much time to get somebody to buy something for hundreds or thousands of dollars, right? The key behind making money in sales is that you sell something that is a high price, right? And that provides a ton of value to the customer. Now, even if it's just a couple $100, if you are the one selling it, and you have high profit margins, right? If it's something digital, which I recommend anyone, right, to sell something digital, you have 70, 80, 90% profit margins, right? So you sell $1,000 and you keep 800, 900. At that point, I was doing everything myself, so I had 100% profit margins. Means that full 1K was in my bank for me to use. And that's where my life changed forever, right? I have never worked in a 9 to 5 ever again. Only those 2 weeks. And I've made, as I mentioned earlier, $2 million approximately. So how did I actually monetize? What I actually did is I started documenting my journey. I started showing how I grow my followers. I started sharing how I went from 0 to 10,000. And because people saw the growth from the beginning already, right? They saw that it actually, what I know could potentially get them the same results, right? As I was able to produce those results for myself. So people started asking me, how can I grow such an audience, right? Businesses started reaching out to me. People started reaching out to me. How can I grow those followers, right? And in the beginning, I started teaching them for free. I actually made an ebook, funny enough, and gave it out for free. But I very quickly realized that nobody got results from free stuff. And this is funny enough, getting back to why YouTube and blogs does not work. One part of the reason why it does not work is because you don't take the information as seriously. The ones who have not clicked away from this video yet probably have invested in themselves before. And did I catch you? Did you ever buy a course before? Did you ever buy a coaching before? Most probably did. That's why you watched this far, because you catched on that this is really valuable. And people would usually pay for it, right? As I'm not even editing this drastically to get your attention, right? I'm just giving you pure straight value. And I know that most people don't have the attention span to even watch this. But to get back to the point, so I documented my journey and people started reaching out to me. I gave out the ebook for free, right? Nobody got results. So eventually I said, hey, what got me results when I paid money for it, right? Eventually I started charging for it, started making some sales, and then I did coaching calls actually. Because I thought if I take somebody by the hand, it will give them way better results, as that's also what worked best for me than just reading a book. So eventually I started charging $50 for a coaching call after a few of the people, of course, that got the ebook and coaching calls for free, they did get results, right? But it was a very small percentage. And then I started charging $50 for it, filled up my course slots very quickly. So I went to $100, $200, right? And yeah, that's how I made those $1,000 in no time flat, within 48 hours, right? Because I had 10,000 followers, which makes it a lot easier. Now you might not make $1,000 within 48 hours if you have less than 1,000 followers, but it is possible. And here's the key behind why it is possible. Because it's not so much about how many followers you have. It's about that the people that actually follow you know, like, and trust you, right? What does that mean? Look, when you drive on the highway, right, and you stop, not the highway, if you drive on the street with your car, right, and you stop at the red light, next to you stands a car, right, which is also waiting for the light to switch. And the guy in the car tells you, hey, roll your window down, makes a motion with his hand, roll your window down. You're not gonna roll the window down, right? You're gonna be maybe even flicking him off. Now, if it's the police standing next to you and they tell you, hey, roll your window down, you're gonna freaking roll your window down, believe me, because they have authority over you, right? Now, the same thing in sales and marketing. You gotta establish authority. In my case, I had authority because I had the 10,000 followers, right? So people saw I'm credible, I know what I'm doing, the engagement was on my posts, right? So they knew they can trust me and I can teach them. I have the expertise that they want to get them the results, right? Now, in your case, you might not want to go in the same niche, right? You can do the same thing in fitness. You just got to show your amazing body, right? You can do the same thing in spirituality, right? You just got to show people that you are more awakened, that you have knowledge about how to spiritually increase their energies and make them realize more of what they actually are and what they can achieve and so on, right? Now, this gives you a quick rundown how to make your first $1,000 online without tens of thousands of followers. Now, if you really want to learn all the strategies I use to grow my followers, and also in very much depth how to actually document your journey and all the different strategies of how to connect with your followers, that you can establish also the trust, right? That you can establish the authority that I was just talking about, all these things, then check out the link in the description of this YouTube video and watch my free training video. It's 20 minutes long if you have not seen it yet. I go over a ton of my clients, how they succeeded in which different niches, all these things. And once you watch that, you can apply for my coaching program in which I will teach you step by step, by the hand, how to grow and monetize your own IG automatable faceless page, right? And scale it. Now, if you already have seen the video and you did not take action yet, you can still apply, right? After you just put in your email again and get on a call with my team, right? And from there you can get direction if and how we can eventually help you. Yeah, take action now if you're serious about making your very first $1,000 online or even way more. One more thing, if you don't feel like, hey, I'm ready yet to get into a mentorship, I don't want to spend that kind of money, right? I can't invest that much, or you simply don't have it, right? I do have an alternative to get mentored by me for just a couple bucks a month, right? You can start actually with just $1 and give it a trial for 3 days, see how it goes. If you like it, you stay subscribed and you learn from it consistently, all these things that I just laid out and way more, right? Way more. In just 5-minute bite-sized lessons daily that you can also get in the description below. I will link that. And one more thing, if you want my personal ebook, right, which covers the CPMA system, which is the main strategy that I have used to actually make my first 500K online, and also covers all the growth strategies that I've used to actually grow followers by first 1,000 to 10,000 followers, how to go viral, all these things, how to actually lay the foundations for your page. It's called the Theme Page Master Guide 4.0 or 3.0. It's a really amazing book. 3,000 people have bought it and countless people have had life-changing results. It's just $17 right now. The price will go up, so make sure if you want that to take action now. Yeah, but the best option, of course, if you want guaranteed results, you want to be guided by the hand, right, is of course my mentorship program. If you still need some more trust, right, you want to get to know me more in depth and see that the lessons that I can give you are impactful and everything, which I pretty much already proved here, but then get the 5-minute mentor, right, which I explained, or my ebook in the description below. Optimally, you watch the training, apply, book a call, and then we really analyze your situation, and if anything, we can still get you into the ebook or 5-minute mentor if it's not a fit to work right now together with me. With that said, wish you an amazing day, much success, much love, peace out, see you in the next video.